Hello, my friends. Just thought I'd tune in here on this live stream. I want to get content up on, my channel, and these live streams are a really cool way that I can come on here and get a video off and still deliver the same message that I would deliver if I had a pre-recorded video. So, super stoked that I found out about this and have things worked out now. So it's not choppy and the audio is pretty good. And I have a microphone here. So the title of this video is Beware of Wolves in Sheep's Clothing. So sorry about the terminology there with the wolf. I like wolves. So the wolf got a bad rap in that regard. But anyway, so beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. What am I talking about? Does that have to do with the awakening? And why am I shooting this video? These are all important questions. So I see a lot of advertisement recently. I do stay up to date on spiritual awakening and other people that are leaders in the awakening that I feel are heart-centered leaders, such as Victor Odo, Melanie Beckler. There's a few other people that I watch, and I found out about those people organically, meaning I found them synchronistically or through the YouTube, through searching on YouTube. So I found these people, and I consider them leaders because, much like myself, they started from an awakened point of view. They wanted to reach out and help other people. And recently I've seen a surge, not in new healers and new coaches, but I've seen a surge in advertisements for programs targeted directly for spiritual awakening. So I've been getting a lot of targeting about the awakening and about you need this product because you need this mindset and all these things. So self-help was already a huge niche where entrepreneurs and business people already make a lot of money. Okay, they already make a lot of money in the self-help niche, and this is proven. So just be aware that there are people with whole teams of people that have already been successful in self-help. So don't be surprised if you see a lot of self-help type of programs geared towards people that are in the awakening. And I'm just raising your awareness to this because it's misleading, and those programs aren't going to truly help people that are experiencing a real spiritual awakening. Because like Albert Einstein said, you can't solve a problem from the same level of consciousness. So it doesn't matter how well you dress something up and put all the bells and whistles on it. It doesn't matter if the program that you bought looks the most designed and aesthetically pleasing. If its core content was not designed by a heart-centered, awakened person, it's not going to give you what you need or what you intended. So just be aware that there's people out there that are marketing using our number sequences and patterns that we see. They know that people are seeing numbers now. You're going to start to see this more and more. Advertisers are going to start to make it trendy, kind of chic and cool and hip. I had someone reach out to me on my graphic design, freelance graphic design website, and they said something like, "Oh, I found your artwork really special, and it resonates, and I'm writing this message at 222 on this day." And it's like, they went really too far out of their way to sell me that they were special or that they were have like an awakened person that's reaching out to me, trying to make me feel as though that they need me specifically to design this logo for them. And I don't buy that. I don't think that that is a legitimate person reaching out to me. I think that it's probably some con artist that profiled me, that knows that I am, on YouTube, that I do graphic design work, So I just wanted to shoot this video today to raise awareness to people that are doing this. And, people, you're going to have this all throughout the world in various business practices and niches, but it always is a hard pill to swallow when it's something that you're really passionate about, right? So like, I'm really passionate about spiritual awakening. So now I see it being used as a tool to target people. And, that's a whole lot different from, for example, someone like myself that creates an ad for my coaching program or my business, because I'm actually a legit person, a legitimate person that is doing that work, right? I'm not like most of these people that are using these ads and targeting. They're not even involved the least bit in spiritual awakening or in raising consciousness or nothing. They're simply creating programs designed to target a specific group of people and to make money off of them. And, there's tons of people that are on YouTube that sell courses and programs, but that's different. I've bought tons of courses that Victor Odo made, and I never regretted not one of them. They were a good deal. I learned a lot because they were sharing valuable wisdom. I'd be interested to see in some of these programs what content is actually in those programs. And maybe once I get my Patreon up and running, maybe we will like buy one of these programs and then expose the false information that is in there, or just see what information that is in these programs. Because then you must understand that if all this stuff is going out, right, if a legitimate person is looking for guidance, they're in this critical stage where what they're taking in after a spiritual awakening is super important. So now we got all this misinformation as well going out into the collective. And you see this with conspiracy theory pages. You see this with the misinformation, with the New Age movement. There's all types of things that are going on. So, here on this channel, I like to talk about truth. I like to talk about, what I've experienced and try to leave my beliefs out of it. And my beliefs are important, but so are your beliefs, right? So all our beliefs are equally valid, because our beliefs are what we are experiencing reality based on our beliefs. So that's why there's so many differences of opinions. What I like about spiritual awakening is that it's an experience. It's a true experience that has happened to a group of people. It's not a belief. It's an experience. And that is what is so special about spiritual awakening to me. And that's why I wanted to raise awareness about what I see going on right now, through Facebook ads, through YouTube ads. Just today alone, despite that graphic design thing that they tried to reach out to me and tried to hire me for, to create some logo. Just today, I was doing some meditation earlier this afternoon, and I got some advertisement that came up here. And, I don't know if this woman is legit or not, but it didn't really seem like she was at all. It was talking about that I needed to get this program. If you were going to have this spiritually abundant life, is what they said, you need to know this information. So just let me say that if you see someone that is pushing these things like it's a secret and you need to know this information, that's the oldest sales tactic in the book. Somebody that is a true, genuine person that is in the spiritual niche and in the spiritual industry shouldn't really have to do too much promotion as far as like self-promotion, trying to do something. Yeah, they can promote their products just by having them readily available and seen. But if somebody is trying to push something on you and tell you that you're missing out and that they have something that you want and all this stuff, it's bullshit. It's just, they're just trying to sell you something. And that's why for the past 2 years that I've had this channel, of course I know that you can make money off of courses. And of course I know that there are digital products that I could create. And I am in the process of doing that. But guess what? It's been 2 years since I have launched this YouTube channel. And it's not like I rushed right out and started pumping out some type of courses. I need to know that what I produce is valuable, that it's thought-provoking, that it's, special, and that it's heart-centered, that I'm sharing wisdom, not just doing something to do it. And I feel like right now people are just doing these things just to do it. And that's just not the right that's just not the right path. I don't want to sound like I'm some type of righteous person, that I'm the only one that is doing the right thing, because that's not true. There's a lot of heart-centered people in the awakening niche, but I'm just trying to raise awareness because I see a lot of this happening. And I don't want somebody that, like myself, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, they reach out or they buy one of these programs and then they get quickly misled. And then that puts a lot of mistrust in people. Then when they reach out to a mentor or to a coach, they will have this already negative experience of trying to get a digital product or trying to hire a coach. They'll have this negative experience. And I think that's also some type of agenda from this group of people that is trying to undermine the real leaders and spiritual teachers of our time. I feel like this is trying to almost, in a way, poke fun or denounce or undermine the validity of the awakening going on right now. And those of us that are in the awakening, of course, we know that that's not true. So I just wanted to kind of jump on here while this idea was fresh, and I was having like a rough day, and I was like, instead of not doing anything as far as sharing and talking, because I find great value when I do talk and share, it makes me feel better. So I had an interesting experience today. I went to the dentist and I got 2 fillings filled here on, so you can see my face is like swelled up, and it's been a while since I've been to the dentist, and it was just an interesting experience, to say the least. And as more of us awaken spiritually and we become more sensitive, we become more psychic, more intuitive, you will start to realize that experiences that you might have breezed through in the past now are quite exhausting. For example, a trip to the grocery store. In the past, it might have been no big deal. But now, since you're in the awakening, now you might feel that it's a huge deal, especially with all the collective energies from this coronavirus with wearing a mask, not wearing a mask. So you may find now just exhausted by doing normal everyday things. And if you guys watch my energy update, that I just released yesterday, I talked about, this tiredness and this exhaustion that many of us are going through, these ascension symptoms that we're having. For me, the ascension symptoms are like a huge fluctuation of up and down. And it's just, that's what it is for me. For other people, it's just being tired. But you may find that, going to the dentist, for example, I was exhausted. I mean, I had my appointment at 10 o'clock. I was there for maybe an hour and I was just exhausted. Afterwards, I was just drained. Like everybody there, it was already a heightened sense of, awareness because of COVID. Everybody was all, masked up and it was a whole ordeal. So, I was came back from my dentist appointment and I was kind of like, what is wrong with you? Like, oh my God, it was just a dentist appointment. But I had to lay down. And recover, which is interesting because that, before I remember going to the dentist and it'd be no big deal. So, as we traverse through our awakening, we may find life sometimes is harder as it was before. But I just wanted to share the message that, it's all worth it. If you watch my energy update, I would much rather have these ascension symptoms and be fully conscious and be able to change my behavior rather than remain unconscious, remain this other personality, so to speak, and never be able to change my identity or, bring out my spiritual gifts and my spirituality and then live that, embody that, be that. See, that we didn't have that in the old personas and personalities that we were. And I think that it's also really funny to point out that when I did have this huge psychic break from reality when I was 21, I was in the hospital and I told the doctor at the time that was evaluating me, I was like, yeah, the old Corey. And I kept saying the old Corey. And he kept correcting me and saying, no, that's not what, that's not what you say. You're still the same person. And I kept saying that the old me died, because literally that's how it felt. It really felt like that person died. And if you're interested in the, this huge topic in the awakening community about ego death or ego dissolution, and I made a video about this. I think the thumbnail, it shows my face like cracked in half. And in that time period, that person truly did die. In that time frame, that person that I was, it really did die. And I emerged into this new person. But of course, that didn't last. Of course, that all that kind of came back, but that set the stage for, the dark night of the soul. And it set the stage for massive darkness and confusion and facing my shadow and all of that stuff. So when people take advantage of people that have gone through tremendous effort and tremendous work, you best believe that I'm going to make some type of video or something to raise awareness about these wolves in sheep's clothing, because a lot of us have gone through too much shit to be taken advantage of, especially through these marketers and these people that are targeting people in the awakening. So I hope that this raised some type of awareness. I guess I can give you some tips to look out for. If you're going to reach out to a coach or get a program, do your research. Look for testimonials. And even today, the testimonials, that's not even enough. Try to reach out and find somebody through a spiritual awakening forum or on Facebook groups and ask about that person specifically. Now, like a classic example would be Victor Odo. He's worked with thousands of people. He has a Facebook page, Awakening Community. I belong to it. So I would go, if I was interested in working with Victor, I would go into that community and I would say, hey, has anyone ever heard of Victor Odo? Or has anybody ever heard of John Doe? You know, because a lot of people in that awakening community, chances are they've heard of them or they've worked with them. And you know, it's a tight knit niche group of people. So if a whole forum of people don't know who this person is, you know, that's a red flag. Also, search the person in YouTube. See if they have a YouTube channel. And if they only have a few videos about spiritual awakening and they just started their channel, chances are that's probably not the best idea to work with that person or to buy their program or whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying that new teachers and new healers don't start things and launch businesses right away. That can happen. And but I'm just saying, do your research, look, ask around, see if they have a website. You know, do your due diligence so you don't get conned and led astray. I think, you know, they say something about that in the Bible about, you know, the wolves with sheep's clothing. And they also say, St. Paul said about, and you never know because you could have entertained an angel unaware. So it's interesting in that passage. And I'm doing more esoteric scripture reading on my Patreon community, and that's going to be, hopefully I'm going to be able to launch that August 15th. We'll see what happens. A lot of unforeseen things are going on in the economy and all this stuff, so we'll see what happens, but I'm still recording content, and it's called The Lost Gospel. If anybody is interested in that, you can find the link in any of my YouTube videos, and it's pretty cool. I have all the categories set up, and it's going to be like a community where we can like do coaching calls and do all sorts of different activities. But I don't know if I have a big enough following yet to move over there. So for now, I'm just going to create content for it and keep uploading there. And what else do we have going on on the horizon? A few more collaborations I have with Mage's Moon. Try to get some events scheduled up with her. If you missed the talk, it's Let's Talk Ascension. We shot 2 episodes so far. One was on the history of ascension, and the other one was on spiritual initiation. I think they're awesome interviews. They didn't need any editing. So it just went right through. And if that happens, that is just, you know, a sign of good flow and connection. And I just really enjoyed shooting those videos with her. I do have some talks coming up on life purpose. I did a webinar event about a month ago on life purpose, and that went well. So I may do some more live webinars. I really enjoyed the format and the presentation, and then the Q&A after that. So just be aware of people that are out there that are trying to swindle you and to try to use God or use spirituality as a means to open the door. And then once they open that door, you kind of let your guard down because you think that they're like you or one of us or whatever connection they initially said. So just be aware that, you know, people are going to take advantage of other people in every aspect of life. Unfortunately, that is the lower egoic nature of humanity. And the work we're doing is raising our consciousness so we can get out of that lower egoic nature. So maybe in the future we wouldn't have these types of problems. All right, my friend, I hope you got something from this. I will catch you on the next live stream. Peace for now.